Oaflad is an organization, is a program in the Office of the First Lady that is responsible for her advocacy activities related to HIV and AIDS, maternal health, and the empowerment of women and girls.
I would like to welcome you to this important event.
This is a high-profile, high-level political advocacy drive to accelerate actions and investments for adults and girls, young women and boys.
We are 8 years to our goal of ending AIDS as a public health threat, 8.5 years before what we all collectively agreed.
The gap increases 10 percentage points at senior 5, with 34% for boys and 24% for girls.
We have to address men because they are both responsible for the infections amongst girls.
Sexuality education and access to sexual reproductive health information and services in school communities remains difficult.
The government is spending on education represented 15% of total government expenditure. What we are seeing is that the population of young people who need to be in school is growing quite fast, while the financial resources needed for their education because of the macroeconomic challenges are also diminishing.
Government is playing the role to make sure that they bring the school close to the family, close to the residential areas and community areas so that children can walk to school. That's a responsibility of government.
We all know the conditions and circumstances in our families and communities do not favor the education of the girl child. My question today is, can the Ministry of Education and Sports make it compulsory?
By policies of government, this level of education, making it compulsory is implied.
Making education compulsory can come as a decision that would be made by both government and the people themselves.
Is it possible for the Honorable Prime Minister to establish an interministerial platform that will draw technical and financial support for girls and young women transitioning from school into the world of work?
There are already efforts to equip children, to counsel them, to ensure that they are able to protect themselves, that they have the skills. And in some of these efforts you've led, they are not everywhere. They are not all over the country.
Uganda being a democratic country, we must recognize the role of the family. It is important for our families to play their role.
Culture leaders, church leaders, and all families watch young girls indulge into premature marriages, and some of them preside over these functions. What can the ministry do to stop this vice?
If the issue of mindset is worked on, I believe that the issue of the child marriage is one of the things that we can end. If our parents would value their own children, I believe that even the ministry would have less work.
What has happened here is the launch of the program Education Plus Initiative that was put together by all the UN units for Southern and Eastern Africa. And really the aim is to ensure that the girl child completes secondary education as a means to empower her so that we can avoid unwanted pregnancies, infections with HIV and AIDS.
I see this project keeping so many girls in school, educating the next mothers of the generation.
In this initiative, I learned that girls are going to be given an opportunity of secondary education where they will be protected from men, they'll be protected from getting HIV, AIDS.
I've learned that the government has now considered also the boy-child education. It has also considered the boys, being that it is the primary cause of the failure of girl-child education.
I learned that we as women and girls of the future are going to have a platform of equality where we can ably compete with the men, and that is something that is amazing.
It's actually a God-given gift, and that I should use my opportunity, I should use my gender to inspire other women, to inspire other girls there down in the rural areas.
As we have seen them talking about, sanitary pads are going to be availed to them easily, school fees and scholastic materials that are needed by the girls to stay in school. Not only will the girls stop at the primary level, but they'll also be able to go to the secondary level where they'll attain more knowledge, attain more life skills in order to train the next generations that will be coming on.
This initiative has been started at the very right time where we are suffering the challenges from COVID-19, where the girls in our places believe that education is not the major thing, where the girls have gotten pregnant, but then the government has given that opportunity to still exploit their full potential.
So in the next 10 years, where do we see this project? We see gender equity in the number of boys and in terms of boys and girls that are completing secondary school.
I see this program pushing very many families out there to enable and endure to see that all girls are in school.
I see us going further because the First Lady promised us that they're going to extend schools in our neighborhoods.
I am seeing this program empowering girls to always remember that they play a big role in their lives, that they play a role in saying no to the men who are going to cause teenage pregnancies to them, who are going to infect them with HIV/AIDS.
Here currently in our nation, we are having the big positions of the country. Look at the Speaker of Parliament, look at the IGG, look at the Vice President and the Prime Minister. All these are ladies. Indeed, now with all this, we see that our girls, if they follow this, if they believe that it is all possible with education, if they use the opportunities that have been put in place for them, if they respect the program that has been started up by the Education Plus initiative, indeed, this will help to build the very great women of today and tomorrow.
She also talked about that if a government wants to invest in a profitable future, they should invest in the education of a girl child. And that is what we are looking at in the next 10 years.
We believe that education is that weapon that will equip the girl to actually fight these things and be able to live a fulfilled life and contribute to the well-being and development of her nation.
Together with other ministries for coordinating this event and for working tirelessly to make this happen. It is now my pleasure to launch the Uganda Chapter for Education Plus initiative and to wish you Godspeed in its implementation.